Yeah. All right, go. Let's go.
Boom, boom. Welcome to the Put Away Podcast.
Explain this situation.
Now we're just going to jump right into it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to hold my man.
Oh, I just changed my camera. Okay.
All right, explain the situation.
So, it's weird. We just cooling.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at Terence Crawford. and you know, we was like this, like, yo,
I looked out and saw an old white man. I was like, I don't know. That doesn't really look like him on TV.
I'm like, that's Terence Crawford. I know Terence Crawford when I see Terence Crawford.
So my dude, y'all, and with 2 T's, chase down Terence for us.
You know
right
me.
quick. I called him. He ain't answer. It is what it is.
He ignored it.
Hey, he disrespectful because I said, hey, you know me? He looked at me like, nah, I don't know.
I said, oh yeah, my dude is supposed to be in town. Welcome to the Put Away Podcast in the studio.
Appreciate it, man.
This the new link for us.
Appreciate it, man. Nice meeting you, bro.
We're at the Wynn Hotel Casino inside the Blue Wire Studios. We want to thank Blue Wire Studios for having us, and we want to thank Terence Crawford for coming on the show.
Oh, for sure.
What you doing out here, man?
Man, I'm just chilling, man. I'm here at the Lovers and Friends concert.
Oh, okay.
We love that shit. We love shit like that, Terrence. I don't know about you. I don't listen to his new stuff.
Oh, man, I'm listening to all
Oh, you listen to new stuff?
all of them. You know what I mean? All the artists, you know, it's a lot of artists. It's going on right now.
Okay.
Started
Literally
at
the
12
drive
o'clock.
up today, Ant said he doesn't like to listen to all that racket.
Hey, Terrence, I'm old. I'm 35, man. I don't want to hear all that racket. I'm trying to relax, okay?
I'm 34.
Hey, man, we getting old, bro. Trying to hear all that shit all the time.
I said, yo, that Kendrick Lamar album. I said, it's all right, but I need the edited version. Like, it's a bit much for me.
So let's get right to it. Do you want to tell him what you just told me?
Well, let me ask him this real quick.
Okay, all right.
Once upon a time, I don't think you would have just stopped and came back into a studio and did an interview. Am I wrong by saying that or thinking that?
No, you actually right. You know, but since you my guy, you know, I gotta show your network platform.
Yeah, he didn't come from me. I dropped your name.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I slipped him a 50, but that was aside from the 50.
But even beyond that, the picture that I'm trying to paint, some of us catch it a little late. I'll keep it real and say I did. When I first turned pro, y'all do the promotion. All I'm here to do is fight and make money. And then I started to learn, like, yo, people like to hear us talk. People like to see us out there in TV land doing what we do. Sean Zeitel is just showing up, and he does not get a seat at the table today because of this right here. But I feel like you one of the guys that realized, like, yo, I'm gonna just be myself, and people gonna dig who I am.
Yeah, I always was a fan of being authentic.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I never wanted to change who I was for anybody. You know, it's not me to go out there and go act foolishness and do the things that other people do because they want to be a superstar.
Yeah.
I feel like my skills and my talent what speaks for itself. You know, I'm exciting in the ring, and that's what people pay, you know, us fighters for is the excitement that they get from us in the ring. But also, some of them pay for the lifestyle that we live.
yeah.
But I'm the type of person that, you know, I got an exciting lifestyle, but I would like it to be private. So
Always. Same with me. Last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let these guys take over. The reason why I bring that into the picture is because the fight that is going to happen between you and Errol Spence Jr. is actually right on time. People feel like, well, man, we've been waiting for this fight to happen, and Shawn had to get in the ring with Terence and da 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 da. It's happening actually right on time because this is gonna be a great promotion. And I feel like you're in a position now to really promote yourself in ways that you may not have been in that position 2 or 3 years ago when people have been really starving for that fight. I think now this fight is happening on time. Yeah. Both these guys can talk some when they need to. Absolutely. And I think that collectively what y'all have done to this point, I've been entertained. I feel like y'all ain't really gone overboard. And it's been what it needs to be to this point. And once the fight is made, we expect that fight to get made. And I'm just letting everybody know from a promotional standpoint, it's going to be nothing less than stellar.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about it. You know, man, I just can't wait till the contract gets signed.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get to go to training camp and, you know, just picture myself walking down that aisle to put on a great show because, you know, I know me, you know, and I've been waiting for this moment all my life, you know, and to show everybody that doubt me who Terence Crawford is. Yeah. And, you know, it's right there. It's right there.
So, I mean, Jim Gray asked, and I'll just do the obvious question. Jim Gray asked Errol yesterday, any stumbling blocks you anticipate? Errol said no. He seems to think both of you guys want to fight. What about from your perspective? Any stumbling blocks, anything at all?
It never been any stumbling blocks. You know, like I said before, in the future, you know, there never was a side of the street till it came to Terence Crawford. You know, Terence Crawford divided, you know, a side of the street.
Yeah.
You know, all these stipulations and all these wrong side of the streets and different promotional companies and all these types of things, they made them up for Terence Crawford. You know, so it never, in my eyes, it never was anything that will stop a great fight from happening, because Tyson Fury and Wilder, you know, they fought.
Yeah.
And I think you know, I picked, probably the last time you heard me, probably I picked Spence. Then sometime I pick you. You know, somebody really talked to me about it. They're like, man, why you guys pick this person? Why you gotta pick this person?
Give me the 50 back.
Enjoy
I'll pick you,
greatness.
bud.
Right.
This is greatness. This is Tommy Hearns versus Leonard. This is Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao, which I think you guys will live up to it. They let us down. But at this point, I feel like we're getting greatness in the ring. And I said, I feel like the stuff outside the ring may change, but I think may affect the fight. But the greatness we're going to get at that moment, you may not give him respect. He may not give you the respect. You guys are great.
No,
and
I always gave Errol respect. You know, I never, you know, try to, you know, down talk his talent, his skills in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You know, I grew up, you know, as a boxing, you know, fan. So when Errol was in the Olympics fighting for the USA team, you know, I was rooting him on. You know, when he started, you know, his professional career, I was rooting him on. You know, just like when I fought Gamboa, I never thought I was going to fight Gamboa. Yeah. You know, Gamboa was on the pound for pound list, and Baby Tyson, and once I got that opportunity, I'm like, dang, I never thought I'd fight Gamboa. Like, what's going on, you know? Like, so I'm a fan of the sport first.
Told y'all. And that's what made me start going to the fights. I seen him at a PBC fight. Of course, side of the
He
street
had a fake
type
mustache
stuff.
on and the glasses.
I said, yo, what you doing here? He said, man, bump all that side of the street stuff, man. I'm a fan of boxing. If it's good fighting going on, I'm there. And when he said that to me, I literally stopped in my tracks and was like, so this is how this thing's supposed to work. You know what I mean? I think people really saw me in the transition that I made. That coming into my life in that moment was when I started to do commentary and stuff like that. I may not be who I am as a commentator without hearing him say, yo, be a fan of what you do, and not all the animosity always has to be there. You know what I mean? Sean's like, tell man, you made it.
A little late.
I was hoping
didn't
you
know
was
we were
not
having
going to
Terence
get
Crawford today.
We didn't know we was having Terence Crawford.
We're actually supposed to have Errol, and then all of a sudden Bub walked past.
Oh, that's wild. Hey, quick before I know you got some heat. I know you got some heat.
Not really.
Hey, me and Carson, we all for the BS outside the ring. The lead up in a press conference to this fight is about to be hot.
I'm more excited.
Both
for
of
the
you guys don't back
walkout
down.
song.
Y'all gonna talk bunch of shit. Hey, y'all gonna do numbers. Make sure you get some of that pay-per-view number money.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, show me something.
No,
I'm
real
still trying
talk,
to get
like,
the 50 back.
Yeah, real talk. I want some money.
if it's up to me, Sean tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but I feel like this should be an international promotion. They should got just like Floyd and Conor McGregor did some years ago, where they're hitting these big cities in these different countries, promoting what's about to happen in one night, and no one should miss that. This is the epitome of greatness in the professional boxing game right now in the welterweight division. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Pound for
Yeah, I
pound.
mean, you could, in America, you could hit up New York City, LA, Las Vegas, Omaha, and Dallas. You know, that would probably be a great tour. And since you said international, I
feel like you got to go international. You throw all the bucks out for this one.
Well, he beat Ricky Burns to become lineal at lightweight, and Errol beat Kell Brook overseas to become IBF champ. So these guys, the fans in England, I think Terence even said he thinks they're like some of the best fans in boxing. So they know these guys. They know these guys. So why not take it overseas to the UK as well? But for the 5 locations in America, I would think New York City, LA, Omaha, Dallas, and Vegas.
You didn't back me up at all, man.
Yeah.
I said go
That's
international.
United Kingdom.
You didn't back me up at all.
You want to go to Mexico too? You want to go to
India.
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah,
all right.
everywhere.
Omaha's the biggest one on the list.
Hey, Terrence, you willing to go to Dallas, beat him in his backyard?
No, we coming to Vegas or something.
Boom.
Oh,
We
I dig it.
We gotta have somewhere neutral.
Hey, go ahead real quick because I know my man was headed
we gotta
somewhere.
get him out of here. That's
Go ahead real quick, Shawn. You got something?
If you
You
have,
guys already had a good talk with him about the fights last night, right? Okay. Cool.
no, I was gonna say my
we just
Oh,
started.
you didn't see him?
We've been waiting on
No,
you,
we're
man.
gonna focus on this.
Well, let's forget about the fights last night since we got Terence. I'll just shoot the one question about Terence to Terence. But do you have with Spence, this fight we've all been sinking our teeth into and analyzing for like 5 years? He's a pressure fighter who throws more punches as the fight goes on, but you're the counter puncher who can maybe take advantage of that. Do you have when you look at the styles, a style matchup advantage? Styles make fights. Do you have the advantage there with Errol Spence being the counter puncher?
Well, I don't look at my whole career as just being a counterpuncher.
Right.
I feel like, I can stay in the pocket. I feel like I can be first. I can be, first and last. I can counter. I can switch. I can do multiple things in the ring, So looking at my fight, I go up as well. A lot of people say I start slow but finish strong. So that's just going to make for a great, exciting fight, So whatever he brings to the table, we're going to be 100%, 120% prepared for, his onslaught with the pressure and all that stuff. So we're going to be ready.
You think we see you switch even more in this fight since he's a southpaw too?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let me just
know.
ask you this one before we let you go. The obvious one for the fans that are nervous: how confident are you this fight happens?
I'm always 100% confident.
Okay,
2022.
Huh?
this year for sure.
This year.
Okay.
Okay,
In Vegas.
And like I said, I meant what I said. Once I beat Spence, if Charlo don't move up, I'm coming for him.
Ooh.
You didn't see the fight last night?
No, I didn't see the fight.
Hey,
I
he
was
did-
here, but I heard he won.
He did his thing.
10 round knockout.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Charlo.
You want the whole camp?
But he on my hit list.
Ooh. Who's third?
Sean again.
No.
Damn, hold on now.
I ain't got.
That's
got
two
no
pretty
hit list
big-
that far.
Yeah.
What I mean? But
Hey.
I do got two people on my hit list, and that's Jermell and Spence. Well, Spence first, and then Jermell.
Well, to be undisputed and back to back, that'd be
definitely.
incredible.
Show off.
Definitely.
Damn, that would be crazy.
Stay healthy, my dude. I
Yeah.
appreciate you,
Hey,
and I'll see you next week.
for sure. Let me say one thing for
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
go ahead, do
people,
yours.
for all the people in the world that keep saying this Texas stuff. Spence is from New York City, and Charlo and his brother is from Lafayette, Louisiana. Stop saying y'all from Texas. And y'all talking about Texas boys. Y'all Illinois boys and you from New York, Spence. Tired of y'all. Texas. Try back to y'all own state.
So New York, we could take Errol
All right,
Spence.
big guy.
New York got Errol Spence. They got
Definitely. That's where he from. Rep your city.
We up here, man. Blue Wire Studios inside the Wynn Hotel and Casino, just having a great time. We want to thank Blue Wire Studios. We want to thank the Wynn Hotel and Casino for putting this together for us and allowing us to be here and do what we love to do, having a great time. All that being said, let's get to the show.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
man. What you got?
I want to shout out to my guy, man, James Monday. They got Monday Beadz online on IG.
Last name Monday?
Yeah, they're big fans of the podcast, and they want to send us some positivity beads.
Okay.
Bracelets.
Is that me?
So yeah, we got one for Carson.
Let me take off my Tuesday.
We got
beads.
one for Sean Porter.
Carson got his
Hey,
first.
this is your graduation gift too.
Oh, yeah.
and the perks of
But
being,
yeah,
being
well,
with-
shout out to my guy,
Nice.
man. Monday Beadz on IG. They're big fans of the show.
Thank you.
I'm not tight.
Yeah, shout out to Monday B.
Yeah, Monday
Ooh,
Beadz.
nice and cool.
Yeah.
Midwest, Michigan.
Okay. Is it, okay. I didn't even see all that. How you
Definitely
how you get all
shout
that?
Come on, now you got to shout them out if you don't shout them out.
And shout out to Vernon.
My son will love this. So
All right.
Last but not least, if you want some beads, you check them out on IG. Also, James Monday 09@gmail.com.
And Eddie James. Shout out to Eddie James.
Here we go.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, let's get to the show.
So yeah, there was boxing.
a lot of it apparently.
Yeah, Zytel's a college grad. Congratulations.
Yes.
Oh man, you looking smart over there today.
Better late than never. I
Yeah.
mean, it only took me
Better-
till I was
better
30
than-
years old.
Better than the first Kanye.
Hey man, all doesn't matter that you got it.
Yeah.
It don't matter
Yeah.
how long it took you to get it.
Yeah.
Degree in communications.
Broadcast.
Broadcast?
And minor in print. And yeah.
I was just thinking Tommy Boy when he said, "Yeah, a lot of people go to school for 6 years." He said, "Yeah, they're called doctors." Yeah, you made it happen. Yeah, you were in the building last night.
Oh, what a great fight.
at the Punch Bowl.
Yeah, I love. It was so good to be back there in LA, man.
Let's start. You want to do the zone real quick?
Yeah, let's do.
No offense to the zone. I was
that?
busy. I know you were busy at Showtime, and I did not get a chance to check out the zone. We do the best we can to cover
Shawn.
any and everybody.
Zone.
Wasn't able to. Yeah. Oh yeah. We weren't able. I wasn't able to watch the zone this past weekend because I was busy on Triller, which we will get to. In just a
I hope
second.
Eddie Hearn's just like, you know what? Don't come back.
Disaster.
He's like, you DAZN'd one too many times. No,
I worked the zone last week, and of course you know. Yeah. And I was getting on the elevator. He's on the elevator. Yeah. I didn't see him. He didn't see me. Somebody says, "Hey, Shawn Porter." He goes past me to look outside the elevator, and then as he's coming back in, I said, "Oh, hey, I didn't see you there." He said, "I didn't see you either." I was looking. You got the accent. He's like, I didn't see you either. I looked out to see you.
I rode an elevator with Eddie Hearn once too. It makes two of us.
So
Did he? Was he able to say R in Porter?
No.
Porter.
Shawn Porter, what's that?
Oh man, y'all crazy.
So the DAZN fights yesterday, Golden Boy.
Zurdo.
Zurdo.
It was also out in
Which
California.
means left-handed, Shawn.
So
That dude tall.
the co-main,
Hey, you recording this right now?
the co-main was
Definitely got you a degree, huh?
I know, right? What a dick.
So the co-main was William Zepeda and Rene Alvarado. Closer fight than I think a lot of people anticipated.
How did William Zepeda look?
He looked okay.
He's looked okay for like now 2 if not 3 fights.
Well, you got to wonder if he's starting to become a really fun TV fighter instead of a elite lightweight.
Yeah.
You know, but
I thought we were gonna see elite lightweight.
that's what he was being billed as his last couple fights. But I didn't get to see the fight. You did, Carson?
Defense is just it's lacking. It's lacking just a little bit. He's still an explosive fighter, but Alvarado coming up in weight, few fight losing streak, and it was a close fight. Zepeda won, and he won on the cards. But he looks okay. I don't not much beyond that. And then Zurdo was fighting a guy that was technically the #1 contender on the WBA.
Technically,
God love the WBA, but Zurdo made
#1
pretty quick work of him.
Did he? Well,
Fourth round stoppage to the body.
Zurdo's always been a good fighter.
Yeah.
Always. He's not, what is he, 43 or 44-0 now?
44-0.
44-0.
Yeah.
He's going to get a big fight at some point.
He's angling for Bivol.
He'll get that fight at some point if Bivol keeps winning, because
It's a great matchup.
Beterbiev is and Joe Smith is got to go across the street. We had Terence. We got to work with ESPN for that fight. And I don't know if he sells more tickets fighting those guys. He fights Zurdo in LA. I think that fight sells because of the Mexican market there. And then if Canelo can somehow turn the tables, which a lot of people don't expect, but if he could turn the tables against Bivol, I don't count him out either, Shawn. I'm with you. But I think that if Canelo's going to stick around 75 and he wins, eventually Zurdo could get that fight too. So Zurdo's just got to keep winning. There's still some time on his side. He's not getting old.
He is a really good fighter. Good power, good body puncher.
Good boxer.
I'm going to test your boxing knowledge.
Uh-oh.
Is his trainer, is it Julian Chua? Do you know?
Yeah.
Zurdo's trainer? Is it Julian Chua?
Yep.
He is a really damn good trainer.
Think so?
I do.
Under the tutelage.
Is he
Freddie
a Freddie Roach guy?
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things where it's tough to evaluate trainers in general, because it's like you have the fighter, like how much are they doing? But they went to the corner early. Obviously, the fight didn't last too long, but he went to the corner and it was really good, concise, detailed instructions.
Shout out to Julian. That's kind of who he's always been. When I met Julian was when I first started going out to LA. I don't think he was an amateur, I believe. I don't think he ever turned pro. I could be wrong. Excuse me if I am. I don't think he ever turned pro, but he loves the boxing game, and he was always at the wild card, so much so that he just started to hang around until the last man would leave, and then he started to hang around with Freddie Roach, and then he starts to train guys. I'm like, you're too young to train guys, and he found his niche. He found who he's supposed to be to boxing. To your point, you see his personality. He's able to really connect with his fighters. It's not just Zurdo, who I've seen him work with. He's really connected to his fighters. He's got the education, of course, a lot of that coming from Freddie Roach himself, but also the fact that he has just, a lot like you, has just studied the game, studied different styles, and the list goes on. Not everybody out there has to be a world championship fighter in order to become a world championship coach. Julian Chua is one of those.
He almost called it to the T.
Cleveland, right?
So in the corner,
You know him?
he was saying, he was like, yeah, just throw these, step to the side, and throw your left hand to the body, hit him in the liver. Repeated it. Zurdo acknowledged it. He almost called it. He did kind of step offside, but he got him with the right hand to stop it. But yeah, Zurdo.
So along with Marvin, he's been like his main understudy for Freddie.
Yeah, I would say in recent years he's been one of his main understudies.
That's really important though, because Freddie learned from Eddie.
Yep.
Eddie Futch, and it's just so important. I think that these tricks and tools of the trade get passed down generation. We don't want to lose them.
It's got to go to the right people. And I'm not saying this about Julian because we're on this podcast, anything like that, but I consider him to be one of the right people because he gets education and knowledge and he knows how to use it.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows how to use it. You lose some things. He's a special individual when it comes to teaching and disciplining. And that, as I've been told before, it takes a special person to be a teacher. Whether you're teaching a fifth grader, a kindergartner, or a high schooler, even in the universities, it takes a special person to be able to do it the way it's supposed to be done.
Well,
Julian Chua, shout out to him.
I was certainly impressed.
Freddie's rap, over the last 10 years was he's gonna have you offensively go.
Yeah.
Let your hands go in. But there's obviously gotta be more to it than that from the Freddie Roach School of Boxing. What would you say it is, Shawn?
That's honestly, that's what
That
I
really
got
is.
from.
Right.
That is what I got from Freddie. Freddie, there were certain things that I already did. He says, I love that. I'll go ahead and say one. He says, you know what? You feint a lot. I said, yeah. He says, man, that's a lost art in boxing. He says, nobody feints anymore. Keep doing it. And when he said that, I mean, my feints multiplied. You know what I mean? Like when a man like
Shawn
that
didn't throw a punch the whole first round of his next fight.
And then again, go back to my dad. My dad never said, here, work with my son. My dad never said, you go to the ring with my son. My dad said, you know what? If you give me your knowledge, I'll use what you give me, and I'll make sure my son's successful. And so what does my dad tell me? My dad said, you should be feinting or punching or feinting. And if you're not doing either of those, you need to be moving the head, or moving your feet. You should never be standing still in the boxing ring, and you should never be inactive. Feints or punching or feinting. And we made a living doing that.
Yeah. Do you want to touch on where you were employed last evening?
Man, I had fun, man.
How'd those Vargas boys look?
They look good. I have fun.
That youngest one looked good. It was his debut.
He did. Go ahead.
Me and Carson was confused. Did they fight and then had a versus at the end, or fight?
Was it like an intermission?
Yeah.
Onyx
So
and Cypress Hill?
I think
It was
this is
an
the
event.
first
That's an
time.
event.
This was an event.
Yeah.
And I think this was the first time they actually did the verses, or what I forget what they want to call it now, but they're not calling it.
It was
verses.
Triller verse.
Triller music, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the verses.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
This is the first time they put that before the fighting.
Okay.
So there were some fights like undercards. It ended up being the Vargas brothers along with Holyfield. We'll get to that in just a second. And then there was Onyx and Cypress Hill. Real quick on Onyx and Cypress Hill, the energy was just flat out amazing.
Cypress Hill won, right? They had to have.
They didn't declare a winner.
Okay.
Oh,
I would
that now?
actually lean towards
Yeah,
Onyx.
so that's it.
Really?
And they're giving and they're getting like kind of doing away with that versus thing. Okay. Maybe it was Bone. I don't know. I don't want to blame him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, the energy was just fantastic. Like, we got an actual concert last night. Not everybody can perform their songs and do it the same way they did it 20, 25-ish, 30 years ago.
30.
Yeah. And these dudes on both ends came
rocking
out,
the mic.
rocked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point I was like, I hope my wife and my kids ain't like listening to this, because it was some hard, it's hardcore lyrics. You know what I mean? But the way they was putting it down, I was like, yo, I really appreciated what they did last night. So shout out to Onyx and shout out to Cypress Hill. Was able to connect with Onyx. Wasn't able to connect with Cypress Hill, but everybody is a boxing fan, and y'all are going to find that out right here on the Portaway Podcast with a lot of the guests that we start to bring in here now that we're with Blue Wire Studios right here at the Wynn Hotel and Casino.
Boom, boom.
I'd have to say that first verse on Rock Superstar from Be Real is his best verse.
Ooh.
Just being
Okay.
you know,
Carson, counter
not
that.
his best song, but his best verse.
I think the best song of the whole collection is Slam by Onyx. Just
Counter that.
Just in my opinion.
Counter that.
Insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane.
And Fredro
yeah.
Starr was on The Wire, which is the best show of all time. So.
Right. And then Save the
Shout-
Last Dance.
Shout out to my brother
It was
for
good to Save the
rec-
Last Dance.
Hey, yo, Bird.
shout out to my brother for recommending The Wire.
Unbelievable.
He scared me as a kid in Save the Last Dance. I thought he was gonna kick my ass. It was Fredo's
I'm gonna do a quick story, then we'll get back to it. A lot like we were just talking. You like went out there and ran and got TC.
He didn't get Sierra though.
I'm
Ant was gonna have to break through the glass just to get this.
Hey, what if y'all seen me got slammed by the security?
as you know, I'm not much of a talker.
Yeah.
So we were
Perfect
at
for a podcast. Go ahead.
we were at Conor McGregor and Mayweather, whatever y'all want to say that. And it's star-studded event. I didn't even want to go. And my dad basically was like, yo, I got tickets, you're going. I didn't even want to go. There's stars all around me. It was one of the best times I've ever had. I think it was the best time I've ever had at a boxing fight. Was able to meet Steve Harvey for the first time, LeBron James for the first time. I sat right in front of Don Cheeto, right in front of Chadwick Boseman. And
R.I.P.
I mean, everybody was there. My dad strikes up a conversation with Chadwick Boseman. Y'all know me, I'm a movie head, so I know him, but I don't really know what to say. You know what I mean? I'm not for the small talk. So Chadwick asked me a few questions, and I answered the questions and so on and so forth. But for the most part, I'm just like zeroed in on the fight, so I don't have to engage. You know what I mean? My dad and Chadwick, they get so cool through the course of the night. Chadwick stands up and he has his hand. I'm right in front of him. He has his phone in his hand. And he hits me on the back of my shoulder like that. And when I turned around, I went like that and fist bumped him, right? My dad said, no, he wants you to give him his number, your number. I said, oh my God. So, I gave him my number and everything. And one of the best gentlemen I've ever been able to meet and come in contact with in my life. Fast forward, I'm hanging out and Fredro asked me for, he does the same thing. He goes like this with his phone. I said, I know what time it is. Let's go. You know what I mean?
You're a professional
Yeah,
now.
I'm a professional now.
And
You know what I mean?
Go stream Get On Up, one of my favorite movies.
Them guys, the energy on and off the stage is why they are and who they've always been to the rap game. So again, shout out to Onyx. I had a great time hanging out with those guys.
So hit us with a speed recap of the fights.
Hey,
yeah.
Now you make you feel bad. The time I had to break you with the news. Remember when he passed and when we was on the
yeah.
Hey, you looked in my face and Shawn knew.
Oh yeah, don't get me going.
All right.
So the fights, go ahead. Rapid fire.
I'll do rapid fire. We had Amado Vargas first. All of his sons, their middle name are Fernando. So Junior, of course, first name. The other two.
Alpha male shit from Fernando.
Amado was it was a 4-round decision for Amado. He controlled the fight, controlled the action. Definitely green in the sense that he just got to tighten up. He's got to sharpen up. He's got the speed, the power, the whole nine. What I saw from Amado, which happens a lot, even happened to me early in my career. I'm good, but I'm a little wild because of the moment. I'm a little wild because I got some early knockouts, and I know that I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? He's got to settle down, which he will, and he's got to start to just kind of work behind the fundamentals that he has, and he's 4-0 now, and he'll be on his way. After that, we had Fernando Vargas Jr. Had a big first-round knockout. I think the guy he fought was also undefeated, so they brought in a step up for Junior, and Junior handled it magnificently. I've been able to commentate him now twice, and both times I've been able to commentate him. Of course, it's early on in his career. Sure. We don't expect anybody that's going to really bring him a challenge. But just to see the way he's handling himself and carrying himself through the course of a fight, I find very impressive. Young, he's now 6-0.
He's strong.
He's 6-0. He's strong. He's fast. He's a southpaw. He's patient. And that's something that you just have to grow into as a professional fighter. I think maybe from seeing his dad do what his dad has done for such a long time, that patience and being a professional fighter, he's caught on to that very, very quickly in his professional career. He had an absolutely fantastic first-round knockout. And they awarded him a $50,000 necklace.
There you go.
$50,000 necklace for that knockout.
That's kind of what UFC does with like a fight of the night.
Yeah.
So
They don't pay their fighters well, but go ahead.
So they're hyped up on Emiliano Vargas, and everybody is chirping the same song. He's the best of us all. We're good, but wait till you get a load of Emiliano. Emiliano's great. Excuse me, let me pull that word back. He's not great. Emiliano is very good. Was patient as well. He was looking for his shots. He is advanced for his position right now, that being his pro debut. Of course, again, nobody that's going to be right there to challenge him. However, shout out to Mark Salgado, I believe is his last name. Mark, I believe, was 1-3, if I'm not wrong. We talked to this gentleman in the fighter meeting. He's got a degree. Not saying that if you're intelligent or anything like that you can't fight, but he didn't seem like he had, through his voice, it didn't seem like he had toughness. And it was like, I don't know about this. This kid gets in the ring and he actually challenged Emiliano, first round knockout. But as long as it lasted, Mark was right there to fight, and you never see that very often in the guy's pro debut. Him going up against a guy who's actually going to stand right there and challenge him. So Emiliano handled it
Not
very.
even 18 yet.
Yeah,
right?
no. He just turned 18. Just turned 18, I believe, last week. So these guys have just signed a 6-fight deal with Triller. We're gonna see them on that platform through the course of this year, and I would expect for a good duration of their career. So those guys did very well.
They all trained by their dad?
All trained by their dad.
Okay.
And everybody's is something special. It's something special going there. I just like what we kept talking about on the telecast. Me and my brothers not tight like them, like they are. We would be fighting before fight night. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in the back room fighting. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. These guys are really tight knit. The whole family, there's nothing but love around it, and they got it.
18 years and should I?
I don't think so. They're gonna be fighting. They gonna be fighting.
Hey, what if they grow up?
Nice.
All right.
Hey, I got a feeling they could.
Now let's rapid fire the
All right,
rest
my
of
bad,
this.
my bad.
Let's get to Evan Holyfield.
Is that on Triller a little bit, the matchmaking? Like, I feel like in a similar
You
spot.
think so?
With I'm just asking you.
I don't think so.
Just because with Nico Ali Walsh, they know how to move him right now at this stage. And I didn't get to see the fight.
I don't think
Carson,
so. Yeah. No, I don't think so at all. I think that Evan Holyfield, he had his guy. And he should have had his guy. He threw a lazy jab to wrap it up for you. He threw a lazy jab, and somehow, some way, this dude throws overhand right. Who the thunk?
Yeah.
And thump. You know what I mean? And I hate it. I hated seeing it. You know what I mean? And that's how it went for Evan in the second round of his fight last night.
Which was kind of surprising because he had about 70 amateur fights, I think.
They said 80.
80.
Yeah,
Right.
We'll call it 75.
Right. Right.
Not belabor the point. So the top two.
Then you had
Pulev.
Kubrat Pulev against Jerry Forrest, who's been in some close fights. He's lost a couple, and he's also gotten a couple of draws. Everyone says that he should have had those should have been wins for him.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless
I'm hyped up on Jerry Forrest. You know what I mean? He's talking my talk in the fighter meeting and all that. And there's this big debacle in the back room. Somehow, some way, he can't fit his glove. I don't really want to go into it, but we basically had to fill upwards to an hour of time because he can't fit a boxing glove that you fit the day before.
You were upset.
I was upset. There's a lot of things that I did not say on air that I knew respectfully to everyone from Triller to California Athletic State Commission. I mean, the whole nine. At the end of the day, this should have been maybe at most a 20-minute thing. Kubrat Pulev. Sorry, I'm taking my time, but
we have very different definitions of rapid fire.
Right. Pulev, because this we gotta take a little bit of time with, but Pulev has gloves that Jerry Forrest can fit and will not give up his extra pair of gloves. So we're in the
How's that his problem?
How it's not his problem until it becomes his problem.
You got to get paid, so the guy's got to fight.
Boom! I don't know how.
If it comes down to it, here's the gloves.
So first of all, I'm pissed at Jerry Forrest because why the hell can't you fit your glove? You fit it yesterday. You signed off on it. Do what you got to do. I feel like there was some nervousness there. There was some, I don't know what it was in Jerry Forrest's corner. But when you go to Pulev's corner, you say, hey, he can't fit his glove. What are we gonna do here? And Pulev is literally putting up a fuss. I'm not giving up my extra pair of gloves. A whole hour goes by, and then he finally said, "Guess what happens?" Commission says, "We're not gonna pay you. if you don't fight tonight, you're not gonna get paid.
Yeah, here you are.
Take the gloves.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So Jerry Force was like OJ. It was like the
yeah.
glove would not
He was on
fit.
some. Yeah. I don't know what you said here. But
I'm sorry.
I jumped all over that, didn't I? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't all that, but yeah, it was some of that. You know what I mean? So
No
and then
comment.
So they end up fighting.
that fight ended up being relatively entertaining. Bivol pulls it off. Forrest took a lot of shots, a lot of punishment in that fight. Then we fast forward really quickly. Kovalev looks really good. He just was a level above the other Pulev brother. And
Oh shit! It really is Russell Wilson.
yeah, and don't sleep on
He was wearing a
Kovalev.
Porterway podcast shirt.
Yeah, right. Don't sleep at.
He waved at us. He knows us.
They can't see it.
He watches.
Go ahead.
That'd be tight though.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
I mean, he's
Look, he coming back.
Nah, he ain't.
That would be
That's
fun.
why-
Yeah, there he is.
What up, Russ? Nope, not this.
I
And
was about to get him to do you want to come on the show.
I'm done. Don't sleep on Kovalev at cruiserweight.
All right, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I apologize. Hey, I tried, fans. So in the comments, blame him.
All right. Last thing I'm gonna say about this.
Yeah.
I think, and you guys, and you definitely, because I've expressed this to you. Y'all all know that I love ringside commentary.
Yeah.
Fox is not giving me the opportunities to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on anybody. I want it.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the zone, and the list goes on. I essentially was not going to do Triller anymore. I didn't really like the way things worked out for me down last year in Florida. But I get a call that I get to do ringside commentary. The Vargas brothers are on the card. Holyfield's on the card. Onyx and Cypress Hill. I said, I'm there. And I had a fantastic time on Triller, being able to be ringside and commentate. I definitely would urge everybody just to go back and check me out, because I did my thing, man, and I love doing it. So thank you to Triller for giving me the opportunity. I'm done.
From one Showtime to the other Showtime.
Let's get it.
Hey, couple things. My mom and my lady's mom thought your name
I'm not
was,
giving any autographs.
Yeah, they already got the autographs from me.
Okay.
They thought your
Can't
name was
afford them.
Showtime because of Showtime.
That's fine.
Oh,
They said, well, we didn't know.
Showtime, Jeff Witherspoon?
Where'd you steal? That's who you stole it from?
yeah. No, not Witherspoon. Stoudemire. Jeff Stoudemire. Yeah.
All right,
Shout out
so
to Amari.
And Damon,
Yeah, absolutely.
but mostly
Mighty Mouse.
I don't got
Yeah.
one.
So
I could never joke.
I think we can just go. We can.
You know, the basketball player.
Yeah, we can go Co-Main,
Comaine?
Boots Ennis.
Boots. You know, okay. So one thing, we were talking about Spence and Crawford a couple weeks ago and the punching power. Spence, more of a heavy-handed guy, you know, with that thudding power, and Crawford with that snap, that speed and power combination. Boots has both.
Yeah.
This man,
It looks like
it's kind of unfair. You're
looks
supposed
like
to have one power or the other. He literally has that heavy thudding power in his hands, in his fists, but with the snap and the quick and the speed and the Mike Tyson snap power, he's just the problem, man. And he's so hydrated at welterweight while being so big, but he's not drained and getting down there. He's so big and healthy. That he's the problem.
Was it an interview with you where he said he doesn't really struggle that much at lightweight?
Yeah, because I asked
FightHype.com, of course.
Well, his cheeks weren't sunken. He wasn't drained or nothing. And then he gets up on the scale. He looks huge. He gets in fight night. He's rehydrated to 160. And look, he's just a monster.
But I think that also comes with age. As Shawn got older, they got harder to make.
But
Absolutely.
he's also, Boots isn't like that young. Was he 27?
24.
Is he 24?
Still just 24, man.
Yeah, 30 is different.
Oh, of course.
Once you hit 30,
I
Carson.
mean, by 30, he could be at 168. Who knows? He's a big kid. I don't know where he's
you know
gonna
what's
end up,
sad you saying like he could be 168. I think once he gets to he's right there, but once he's never getting Crawford, Spence. They're gone.
Well, he said he's willing to go up to 54.
Oh, he chase him?
Keep after
They
them.
really chase him?
Yeah, he'll
like
chase
that.
him. he
Uh-oh.
says.
So
That gives him a chance to actually get them because it's not going to happen at
yeah,
47.
and I'm not even sure if the fight needs like this deep analysis. He smoked him the whole first round and then
Easy work.
and then knocked him out.
Well, like Spence from round one, busy
Yeah,
right
and,
away.
And I
Yeah.
appreciated the jab. He's working the jab, working levels, high low. And then gets him out of there. I have no clue who he's gonna fight next. No idea.
Yeah, man, Carson was literally lost.
It'll be a cold day in hell when Keith Thurman fights that guy. Because that's
Nah,
what
that ain't happening.
because he mentioned it again with Zytel, and he's mentioned it in a couple interviews. Keith's not fighting that guy. I don't know who's going to fight him.
I don't know.
Stanionis fight is a good fight. I mean, everybody would pick Boots.
Ant mentioned that.
Yeah, but that's a live prime body in there with him, a strong, a good fighter. That'd be a good step up for him.
Ugas forced into that fight when he comes back in 2023.
All these veterans don't want to fight him.
None of the veterans
You're
want to fight
gonna
him.
be forced into it.
I can't see Louis DeCubas making that fight for
Doing his mans
Ugas.
like that.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Who else he gonna fight?
So
You're not getting the big dog.
I think the maturation is supposed to be Stanionis. I think because of what do you call them, eliminators and so on and so forth. I think if that fight is made and he fights Stanionis, winner should be fighting winner of.
The undisputed.
Yeah, it's hard to say that because while saying that, I'm like, I think we should be looking at rematches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So we'll
Then
see
maybe
what happens.
54. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
what about your guy coming back and fighting him, Danny Garcia? He calling out everybody else.
No, Danny going to 54.
Yeah.
When he comes back, he'll be back at 154.
And Shawn, if he was going to come back, would come back at 54 as well.
And you know what's wild? We was
this-
watching
He's not
it.
coming back.
We was
though.
watching it
this
and we're like, who he's gonna call out? Guess who he says he wants him to call out? Sean Porter.
Who? He said
Oh,
that?
I did say
Carson-
that. I was
Carson's
like,
a wild
that
boy.
would have made me chuckle.
That's Carson the manager, not Carson Shawn's friend.
I tell you what though, what's cool is people like still talk about me. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's cool.
Sean's
man.
like, go ahead, call me out. Nah, I'm retired. I'm retired.
Yeah.
You guys
Touch me and I'll sue.
Who you guys want to see him in the ring? Who you guys want to see him in the ring with?
Yeah, that
Boots.
Boots is.
Say in the
he is-
comments.
Gosh,
The
he's a-
world.
He is a
I
monster.
want to see him fight any and everybody.
Yeah.
Connor Ben's too early.
Yeah,
Yeah, that.
Sean got mad at us last time for saying he washes these guys, but as Ant and I were literally throwing out names, I was like,
We couldn't come up with
washes
nothing.
them, washes them.
Yeah,
washes
we
them.
couldn't come up with
Yeah,
nothing.
He is,
Oh yeah,
he is
for those
special.
levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not the top level. He
No,
does
no,
not
no,
wash
no.
Terence Crawford.
No,
He
no, no,
does
no,
not
we
wash.
didn't,
No.
We
Errol
didn't mention
Spence
either of
Jr.
those two guys.
I want to go back to that, but
Yeah.
that's where my angst came from hearing those.
I do think outside of those two gentlemen, I do think he beats. I think he beats Keith now. I think he beats Ugas now. I think he beats Virgil Ortiz now. I those are the only two that I'm like, that'd be tough fights. Everyone else is
Connor Ben.
out of there.
It's nobody.
I'm curious about the fight with Stanionis, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a,
You know,
it's a
they're
step-up
both
fight.
young. It kind of,
Yeah.
at this point, it is what it is. If you want to be a world champion, that's probably the fight for you, for both those guys. And I'm curious, just stylistically of how that fight plays
Hopefully
out.
that happens because that is one
I
of the
like
good
that
fights.
fight, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
think
fight.
Boots stops him, but
Oh, yeah,
but
I would
that's
agree.
because he's Boots. You
Yeah.
know,
And how he gets there is what intrigues me. You know what I mean? So
how to
had-
deal with the pressure. With
He
it,
had
you know,
maybe
but-
one of the best answers to Zytel. We can close on Boots on this. Zytel was saying, well, how you think you finish him? Southpaw Orthodox? He said, I might just square up and stop him that way, which is just hilarious.
Well, yeah, and he started Orthodox in the first round, finished Southpaw in the first round, came out Southpaw in the second round, switched Orthodox, got the knock. I mean, damn, it's just saucy.
Yeah, he's unreal. But main event.
And Errol Spence was there ringside to get a good look
Yeah,
at it.
they
And they
went
had
back
a
and
few
forth.
words. Yeah.
Yeah.
he wasn't there
Nah, I
to get
know.
a good look at it.
Oh, no, no.
Hey,
He's saying
he could have been
no, he's-
chilling in the back with
Yeah.
Charlo. You
Yeah,
know,
he
as
came
Charlo
out
said, the
early.
mids.
You ever seen me chill in the back?
You don't have
You don't
anyone
like
that
to
trains
talk
I'm
under
not
your
a chill in
training.
the back kind of person,
Yeah.
Sean. No, but he could have easily have said, "Let me not give this young guy any clout," and not, he could have been calculating about it, but he said, "No, let me pull up.
Errol's-
I'll watch this fight."
Errol Spence.
Shout out to Errol for that.
Yeah, he
It
said,
actually gave
better-
the young man some shine.
Yeah, so you better be careful what you reel in. But main event, all the belts, all the marbles. That's what Errol said. Yeah.
Earl said
Oh, he
that.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
He
I
said-
thought he just came
no,
up with that one.
because
Thought he just pulled
Boots
that
was
one.
like, "Hey, I'm ready to go fishing."
I
and
heard that.
He said, "Hey,
Yeah.
better be careful what you reel in." But main event, all the belts.
Hey, yeah, one time I was
What
in
a fight.
Louisiana fishing, I reeled in a snake.
I hate snakes.
What a
I don't like snakes. And
Did it
heights.
scare you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It just
all
scared
right.
me,
Good
and I
answer,
wasn't
good
even
answer.
there.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, all right.
some of us, we have our preferences, and one thing I definitely do love in a fighter, I love a boxer puncher,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
what
I
Charlo
love
was.
him and his brother.
Ant and I were having a time last night.
Oh, me and Carson.
I was amped up. That
It was
fight,
me and Carson in the
usually
whole house.
fights don't
and
get
we
me
loved
amped up,
it.
but that fight, Ant and I were like, wait
We was amped up at the other when we watched the other one though. When we watched the first one, when we watched the first
I wasn't
Castano.
there. I was
You weren't at my
no, I
house?
was in Oakland.
You wasn't
You
there?
guys
Nah, he
talked about
wasn't
that. I
there.
was in Oakland.
That's why we was hyped.
You were
up.
hyped. Yeah, I would have just been sitting there. But man, that fight yesterday, what a
Great fight.
Unbelievable action from both those guys.
Hey, what you guys had? I had 5-4 after
I had
9.
6'3" Charlo.
Yeah, about 6'3" Charlo.
Where
I
we-
th- There were a lot of competitive rounds. But.
So I realized something while watching this fight this morning.
Yeah.
It's very hard to be a judge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the sport of boxing. And so we did our analysis and we said what we thought Charlo should do, what we thought Castano should do.
Yeah.
While I'm watching this fight play out, it's hard for me to turn off the fact that I see Charlo doing a lot of the things that I felt like he should do. Now, I'm not saying I coached the dude or they did exactly what I said. Nothing like that. But I was seeing adjustments that I felt should have been made. They were being made. Charlo was fighting a lot like the way I thought he should fight. As a judge, it was very hard for me to turn off the fact that
He was proving you right.
He's doing what I think he should do.
Yeah.
It's hard for these judges to go judge Errol Spence and Terence Crawford after judging Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter. You just saw Terence. You just saw what Terence can do, and you're taking that to this fight. Oh, meanwhile, you were at the fight against Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter, and you saw how that fight played out. We have all these different mental visions and thoughts of how we feel fights should go, so on and so forth. Once it starts to play itself out, we're human. It's hard for them to leave that off of the apron and just judge the fight based on what you're seeing. This was the first time in my life I've ever had such a hard time judging a fight because I could not turn off the fact that Charlo was performing very, very well.
Yes.
And I found that very hard.
So disclaimer, you had a 9-0 when the stoppage happened.
Fucking I had a 9-0.
Oh, did you
9-0
really?
who? 9-0
Did you
who?
really?
9-0 who?
I like that.
9-0 who?
It was like
9-0 who?
Charlo.
6 after the 6 rounds, 6-0 for Charlo.
I like that.
This dude's a.
And I said, I said,
No way in hell.
I know. I said,
He also did disclaimer that he.
yeah. I said, I'm not judging this fight anymore.
Yeah.
I said, this is not fair for me.
My man
I said,
said 9-0.
I said,
like it.
you got to tell these people that while you're looking at these judges, we like, you guys don't know what you're doing. Another disclaimer: a lot of these judges don't come from the sport the way that I come from the sport, the way that you've really studied this sport for years and years and years. Some of these judges just
I'm proud of you.
is what it is. They
That's
are who
who
they
said
are.
Hey, sometimes-
9-0.
I said I 6-0, and I was just like,
And
I'm
then he
done.
was done.
I was done because I was like, I'm done.
Sometimes what happens though is your scorecard, and I'm not talking about you, just people in general, could look out of whack because there's so many competitive rounds, but you just happen to think one guy keeps getting the better
that's
of
true.
it.
Absolutely.
So it's like, hey, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they were all close, but
Swing
Charlo's winning them.
They were all swing rounds.
Was that the best performance you've ever seen from
Absolutely.
Mel? I would say
absolutely Yeah, better than the Harrison rematch. He just made all the adjustments that you hoped he would make, but his defense was so much better than the first fight. His counter punching, fighting off the ropes beautifully.
I don't remember ever seeing Charlo go low and
He did that a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that what they were crediting John Guzman with? The defense?
That was kind of his stuff. Yeah. No, I didn't hear them particularly touch on what
I
Guzman.
thought maybe on the commentary they might have.
I've never seen his feet the way that they were last night.
You could see he was going back to the corner and getting shit from Derek James.
He didn't do that.
He
the
was
first
making
fight.
adjustments.
Yeah.
He would sometimes he got caught up in the moment and started to rumble with him, but it was catch him when he gets close.
Yeah.
And just keep him on the jab all night.
Let me just say this.
Adversity makes an undisputed champion.
Yeah. Let me just say
because
this.
that forced him to go back to the drawing board and figure it out.
This is how many trainers there are on boxing better than Derek James.
Me and
Zero.
Carson's big fan.
Absolutely zero. And I'm not. I'll even take it step further. I don't even think it's close.
And Carson.
It's close.
I don't even think it's close.
I'm a big fan of Buddy
Buddy McGirt?
Buddy McGirt. I'm a big fan of Buddy
And
McGirt.
and I feel like I said about the Spence Crawford. I feel like Derek James is the biggest difference makers in that fight.
I loved what I was hearing from Derek James.
Plus
And
Spence.
you have those guys are dominating their divisions right now, and he's doing that. He's guiding them to that.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's close. I think
Hey,
he's the
top
best.
5 greatest middleweights ever?
Super welterweight, 154s.
Yeah.
I was, maybe he's that. All I want to say on that regard, I'm happy you asked.
Yeah.
Was just put him there. Put
He
him
has to
there.
be.
Put him there with Trinidad, De La Hoya, Terry Norris, Tommy Hearns, Floyd Mayweather, Winky Wright.
Mosley.
Well, Mosley, I mean, he a lot of
the
people thought
moment.
that Oscar won that fight at 154, and then he short thereafter he lost the belts to Winky. So Shane didn't have like a great run at 54.
I can't put Leonard in there because he didn't spend that much time.
He didn't spend much time there.
Yeah.
No, but he did win a belt. by knockout. The Kalube, or I can't remember the guy. The name is a tough name to pronounce. But Jermell, being the only guy who's been undisputed in the 4-belt, the first undisputed since Winky, clearly is one of the great 154s of all time, and this probably does enough to put him in the Hall of Fame too.
And put his ass on a pound for pound. He's on our pound for pound
Absolutely.
list. I know he's in my top 10 easy.
I stopped doing those.
My man cleaned it up
a couple years back, but off top, he should definitely be on.
Yeah, he's pound for pound.
He's got to be. And obviously, it was such a great performance from Mel, and he gets the knockout. Great fight from Castano as well.
Yeah.
Because they were exchanging. He was rocking.
Well, he never stopped coming, man. He ate a lot of, but you could see him in the seventh start to break down.
Yeah,
and there was only so many of those shots he could keep walking through, and he put on a brave face because he almost seemed to think if I could, he thought he could make Charlo wilt to the pace, but Charlo in that first 6 rounds, it was almost like Charlo's like, I got to keep this pace with him for 6 rounds, and then he'll give out, and then once the fight slows down. And that pace, it favors me and my skills. It was just
such a good performance from Jermell.
And
one of the better performances I've ever seen or covered.
And also, while Charlo made all of those adjustments, a lot of adjustments, this time out Castano's flat-footed. This time out Castano's not boxing from the outside. He's walking in.
Angles.
Yeah, he's trying to walk down Charlo. You can't walk down a Charlo brother. And quiet as it's kept, you shouldn't try to just walk down anybody at all.
Yeah.
Work behind the feints, work behind the jab to get your way in. I just, while we're definitely praising Charlo for what he did,
Of course.
best performance I've ever seen from Jermell Charlo. You got to also acknowledge the fact that Castano actually took a step back from the first fight.
Which also there is the equation of how much was that.
I don't think so. I think that was just all Charlo.
Yeah, because I was going to say
he just took it to another level.
It's the equation of cause and effect. Did I do that and that made him fight worse? So
my only thing again, like Castano was flat-footed. I thought that was the biggest drop.
Yeah,
that's the biggest fumble in this fight for Castano, and he was flat-footed from the opening bell.
Do we think he was late on purpose?
Yeah, that's what me and Carson was confused about.
Because you were talking about stretching it out. He was late, very late.
Did you have a time you got to be at the arena?
He was late to the arena.
Yeah, that's why the fight was.
That's why Zepeda was probably sitting in there.
Yeah, Zepeda was losing.
Y'all fight was delayed too.
Oh, it was delayed for a long time.
They had us live inside.
But I didn't know if it was Boots' fault. Boots got this guy out of there too.
Yeah,
and then
they said he was
They
late.
had us live inside the Kia Forum. So everything that was going on through the course of the night while we're talking about everything on TV, they had us live. So everybody else was kind of entertained.
They had Jim Gray moving around, interviewing people. He interviewed LL.
Okay, I saw that. So that was the reason for all of the interviews.
Oh, so is there a time you got to be at the arena?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%.
I didn't know there was a time.
Funny.
Man, Carson was
I
like,
was like,
No.
I'll be there when I want to get there.
You get a schedule when you arrive.
Okay.
You get told every day before the next day what's going on.
It was funny because we're sitting there waiting for the fight to happen, and they did mention, hey, Castano was late. And we're hoping it's gonna start, and they show Castano. He's taking his jacket off, putting his gloves on, getting his hands wrapped up.
That's crazy.
Oh, unbelievable.
Same thing with my stuff.
Yeah,
Jerry Forrest had on flip flops and sweatpants, flip flops and sweatpants, and you're supposed to actually be in the ring. Yeah. One hand was wrapped. It was a mess.
Oh man.
Go ahead. So I was gonna say from there, what do we want to see from Mel next?
So Tim Tszyu and Fundora are both excellent fights. I think he desires something bigger, or maybe the two of them fight
bigger than Fundora. Who's he gonna fight?
You know what I mean.
Manute Bol? Go ahead.
Yeah, right. That's a good one.
RP.
That was a good one. But they usually do have good ones. You gotta give them credit.
Yeah, right.
But no, I mean those are both good fights. Sounds like he wants them to fight each other, but they're both really good title defenses. They are. Tim Tszyu and Fundora.
Oh, 100.
I think Fundora a little more dangerous.
They're the only thing that's left.
Right. But the question is, and I want to, Shawn and you guys, how would it look if Terence Crawford fights Jermell Charlo?
Tomorrow?
It's hypothetical here. Let's say for some reason it's not Spence.
I don't talk hypticals.
I know. But you're a podcaster now.
I think he outboxed Charlo.
Well, but okay, so how do you think that fight would look?
It'd be tough.
Because they've been
a great fight.
They're talking about each other, Shawn.
I don't know.
It's a bigger man situation though.
Look at this guy, Shawn. He's texting himself. He's like, whoa, text coming through. I don't know. That's a tough fight, and especially Bud, as I said earlier, he wants that smoke with him. So
clearly,
I don't know. Bud obviously has a lot of tools in his arsenal that will make that an interesting matchup.
He's
but
gonna have to dig deep in the bag.
absolutely, of course. Yeah.
The Charlo,
Charlo's hard to fuck with.
last night, Charlo gives me confidence in him. The Charlo before last night, I didn't have much confidence between footwork and a lack of using the jab, a lack of the lack of the fundamentals to get to a guy. I've seen that from Charlo consistently through his pro career. You know what I mean? So, but the Charlo of last night, I saw him move his head last night.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen that from
He
Charlo.
was moving and shaking, man.
Yeah, and the footwork too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that one gives me confidence.
Everybody say I always bring the bullshit. Shout out to my boy Dane Lawrence. He said after last night he's big Charlo now.
Oh wow!
That's funny. Yeah, I would like to see Castano get in the mix with those guys too, with Tim Tszyu, Fundora.
Yeah,
Castano. I mean, I thought he won the first fight.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't win yesterday, but yeah, I don't know. And I still think Charlo knocks Fundora and Tim Tszyu's blocks off. But
Yeah,
me too.
but they're good title
Of
defenses.
course, yeah, they're both very, very
Isn't Tony
worthy.
Harrison won a title eliminator?
And
so
Tony
he's in there?
Harrison, he's 1-1 against Charlo. So
If nothing else for the presser.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
If nothing else
Hey,
for
me
the
and
presser.
Carson had a whole 20-minute conversation about it last night.
yeah. Hey,
Hey, entertain the hell out of ourselves.
still,
Y'all came up with all the different hypotheticals. Y'all
No,
had
we
the
was talking about
conversations
moments.
yourself.
We was talking
Yeah,
about moments in
yeah.
the press conference.
Just the moments, okay.
yeah. And yeah, I think any of those options. If he somehow ended up with Harrison again, Tim Tszyu, Fundora, or if he goes to 60 and Maul goes up to 68, I'm fine with any of those.
Yeah.
I think Fundora is probably the toughest title. I like Tim Tszyu, but I think Fundora is
I
probably
think
the toughest
Fundora
title defense.
is a big fight. Carson
Yeah,
thinks
it
he
is a big
folds him.
fight.
I think that's a big fight, and I don't know. 60-40.
Put that as StubHub,
I
it
think,
sells out.
I think he spins his head around like a
I got
cartoon.
60-40.
80-20.
It's gonna be like Daffy.
Damn!
It's gonna be like Daffy Duck when his beak goes around his head. I think he knocks his block off.
I favor the
I had a
champion,
Looney
but he's
Tunes
a
reference
tall
last
order.
night too.
I like that.
Yeah, I had a good
We're
time
on the
last
same
night. I'm gonna keep
page.
bringing it back. I was on Triller last night. Check it
Of
out
course,
if y'all
yeah.
want to.
What about Danny Garcia? He's talking about he moving to 154.
I would like to see that.
I wouldn't hate Danny against one of the other guys we mentioned, Fundora,
Yeah.
Zhu, Castano.
I don't like that fight, not yet. I gotta see. I like Danny,
gotta
but
see-
I gotta see
you
him
gotta
do
see him in
something
there.
at 54.
I think
Yeah.
Danny could actually get stopped.
I think a fight against Zoo could be the introduction to 54 for Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
It's a
And
good
then closing on that, we have another 10 fight cards this weekend. We'll kind of just breeze. There's not any huge match.
Shout
Johnny
out
Beck.
to our people. Hendricks, Malik.
Yeah, Hendry,
Yes.
Malik, Mikhail.
Oh yeah, them dudes won.
Yeah, yeah.
No
absolutely.
knockouts?
Actually,
One of
don't
them
know.
I think was a decision.
But
I'm
no
not
Hendry
sure.
got the knockout.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to them.
guys.
Led
Keep
by
going hard.
led by Kenny Porter.
Out to KP.
Joshua Buatsi fights Craig Richards. Nice matchup at 175. People think Buatsi could end up in that mix because he fights on DAZN, where he could end up with some of those guys.
And Richards gave a good 12 with Bivol,
Bivol,
so
yeah.
he's a durable, good fighter.
Absolutely.
Solid fighter, yeah.
Chantel Cameron fights on that card as well.
She's good.
Very good, yeah. And then out here, Janibek fights
Dignum.
Janibek, that was going to be for
Boo Boo's
the
mandatory.
vacant title, but now Boo Boo's not fighting at 168. His fight's off. It's the whole thing. But Jermell Herring back in the ring against Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah, on that card as well.
Up at 35 now, right? Moving back up to lightweight.
Yeah, moving up to 35. And then on Showtime, David
The
Benavidez.
monster.
Back.
The Mexican monster.
Yeah.
As Mike Tyson calls him.
I'm trying to think. He's got David Lemieux.
Oh yeah.
I can't think what the co-main is because the co-main's good too.
Coda?
Oh,
Coda?
Jorge Cota and Yoelvis Gomez,
Yeah.
who I am a big fan. of.
Cubano.
He's Cuban?
He is Cuban.
I knew it.
He is
Wasn't even a
Cuban.
question.
But
This
he-
dude-
But he's an aggressive Cuban.
Yeah,
you don't really like him that much.
No, I love him. He's more in the
I don't know.
more in the Gamboa
The stepson.
style of Cuban fighters. But he had a big knockout his last fight, and then so now he fights Jorge Cota, who had fights with Fundora and Charlo and all those guys.
3
So,
rounds.
think so.
Come on, man. What about the
I
ring
don't,
is
I'm not trying to build it up like it's gonna be a test, but Jorge Cota's a name
Yeah.
that's been in there with some guys. He's gonna test them. Yoelvis
He's known to get knocked out.
Yoelvis is like 6 fights, so he's still young in
Yeah.
the game, but
Yeah.
he is explosive.
He's green,
so,
Shawn. We'll see.
yeah,
Yeah.
out there in Arizona. But main event, any thoughts?
Let's get him
David
out.
along with
Good luck, David Lemieux.
David, along with Boots, might be my favorite fighter to watch in boxing, just because they both have that blend of speed and power and exciting styles. So David is always fun to watch. I think he may have the best jab in boxing, if not one of the true elite jabs in boxing. And because of that, I don't think David Lemieux is going to have too much success. Shorter guy, huge left hook. I just think David's going to jab him to death with his levels with it. His jabs hurt. Sometimes they feel almost like a right hand.
And the hand speed.
And he throws, puts the combinations together as the fight goes on. I just expect him to not let Lemieux.
That was David Benavidez for a second. I think this actually is going to be a statement knockout for David Benavidez.
Agreed.
But I still think he'll be behind the jab and take it. This guy can punch.
Yeah,
of
course.
So you got to.
Yeah, if anything, David Lemieux, he packs a wallop.
But I think 6 rounds.
Yeah, I'd say probably somewhere around there.
After this fight is when we get Caleb Plant, Charlo. We get a big fight for David.
I hope so.
Is it time?
I hope so.
I don't know if these guys really want to fight David. I gotta see.
Caleb say he wants it.
I know.
And I think Caleb has to go through him. He wants Canelo again, but good luck getting through David.
I just mean, looks like fighting David's bad for your health.
Yeah.
Y'all know,
Just one of them guys.
I'll pick David to be the one that beats Canelo.
Yeah.
I think him and Charlo, him and Plant's a great fight too. I would love to see that fight. But him and Charlo is such a mouth-watering fight. Charlo and Benavidez.
Yeah.
That's damn near as mouth-watering as either one of them fighting Canelo. It's a great fight.
I got him stopping Charlo and Plant.
Oh, my.
Stopping both of them.
Yeah.
We got to see it.
Stopping.
I like to see it. I will certainly be tuned in.
Dying to see it.
I like to see it. Benavidez, he's never in a fight where you're bored. Because he runs his hands. He got big power. Yeah.
And people talk about
There it is again.
people talk about that first Ronald Gavril fight, because other than that, he's been dominant.
Yeah.
But the guy was 20 years old and still had his baby fat on him.
Yeah.
And, Jose Cotto, Cotto's little brother was hurting Canelo Alvarez at that age.
Yeah.
He's got a granite chin. So I feel like,
David being as young as he is will blow my mind forever.
youngest
crazy.
super middleweight champion
But
of all
it's
time.
crazy.
Now, 23?
25 now.
25
yeah.
now?
So it's like, let's see these prime fights now.
Obviously situationally, but you look at we're talking about Boots and try to get towards the title. David's been a 2-time champion already.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
still that young.
Yeah.
Can we hypothetically could we get Boots versus
David
David
Benavidez.
down the road?
Nah.
Can't meet they can't meet nowhere.
No, I was
Said
joking.
that. He was 168. No.
Yeah, no.
We can't meet nowhere.
David will
Nah.
be a 75-pounder by the time Boots is anywhere near the 60s.
I like what you're thinking though. You're thinking outside the box. I
Yeah,
like
outside
it.
the box. Inside the box.
Yeah,
Yeah, get back in the box.
Monday your Monday Beadz box. I struggled to get it on. I'm sorry.
I got
Sorry.
mine on. I'm good. Gotta use your teeth.
Your teeth like a Swiss Army knife.
We good
Go
here?
ahead. Yeah, I got nothing else. That's
Cool.
it.
I got just a couple of things. Did I send y'all the picture of me and the young lady last night?
Yes, we were very confused. Yes, he did.
Did I see it?
We
Okay.
were very confused.
While at the fights last night, shout out to one of my favorite boxing movie, The Great White Hype.
Oh,
You know that
movie. Terry Conklin.
You know the scene where the security just standing there, and then the one security breaks out and dance, and then he goes back to doing his thing.
I think that's breaking.
No,
Go ahead.
I've always been tuned in to security because of that movie. There's always one person, y'all can mark my words if y'all want to, one person at an event that's working security that can't help themselves but get down with whatever's playing. This young lady happened to be the one last night, right? So I was watching it
There
from
was
afar.
one last night for the
See?
PBC.
See?
A black dude right behind him.
See?
Grooving and everything. I said, bro, you gotta work.
You gotta work.
What you doing, man?
No, I'm not hating, but I'm always looking for that one.
Of the world, Craig.
Yeah.
I'm always waiting on that one. And she happened to be the one last night, right? So I'm just I'm watching her, digging her, and I'm like, man, she having a good old time, right? So I start to walk by her, and I said, you the one tonight. She said, hey, I can't, I got the old soul. I said, you know all these songs? She said, yeah. I said, I'm gonna talk about you on my podcast. And she says, go ahead and do it. I said, you know about my podcast? She said, I know everything about you. I said, you watch the podcast? She watched the podcast.
Oh, here we go again.
Got a flashlight flashing someday.
I said, shout out to Kalani. I said, write your name down. I'm gonna make sure I shout you out on my podcast. She says, oh, that'd be cool. So I had to write her name down, and she says, sign my arm. I said, you sure? Yeah. We go back and forth for a good 2 minutes. because I did not want to do that.
Yeah.
But
It
whatever-
washes off at some point.
But a lot of times, whatever the fans want, I'm almost whatever they want, I'm willing to do. You know what I mean? So I asked her quite a few times, "You sure?" She said, "Yeah." And so I shined her arm, and she just was such a good sport last night. Young lady working security, and was the one last night getting on that great height, the great white height.
Before your other, I think you have one more point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to dig through the archives, but I'm pretty sure I had an autograph for you at one point at a workout you did years ago, and you punched me in the stomach, and then signed above where you punched me in the stomach.
Whoa, you did that?
I'll just see if I can find it. We were still way in Ohio, way back. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
All right.
It was
I
pretty
love the
fun.
great white height.
But if I can find it, it'll be in here. And if I don't, just picture rock hard abs and an autograph.
Who got rock hard abs?
Hypothetically,
Once upon a time, though, he used
I didn't
to
have
be
rock hard
sexy.
abs, but I was
He
skinny.
used to be
Carson,
sexy.
once upon a time, we all was in shape.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
skinny.
I just not thought about it. I used to have ass.
Go ahead. What you got? What's your
Put in the
last one?
comments whether y'all believe Carson used to be sexy or not.
No.
I got some pictures
I have a
coming
good-
soon.
I have a good personality.
Used to be good looking. Used
Shawn,
to be.
It's a broham, Merlot.
Oh yeah.
The Merlot broham.
That's my
It's-
movie right there, man. Check out The Great White Hype if y'all haven't seen it. Is that Ken Avery Wayne's movie?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
star-studded
Damon Wayans
movie.
is
Yeah, Damon Wayans, Samuel L.
Jackson, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. I mean, the list goes on. We got something that we still got to check out relating to that movie. Remember? You know what I'm talking about? Without saying it.
doesn't know.
He don't know what you're talking about.
I got the
Just
Once
nod your
Upon a
head.
Time film.
Uh-huh.
Remember I told you about that?
You gotta
I said I have an original clip of the Great White Hype.
we told me about this.
We got to get on it.
So yeah, moving forward. from
Sorry,
there.
Carson.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You have another
Real quick,
thing to close out
just
on.
trying to expand my brand beyond the Portaway podcast, of course, and just kind of get into everything else that I want to do in this big wide world. That being said, I have an opportunity to do some motivational speaking next week in Connecticut. You've seen me on all of the platforms. Now I'm traveling to Connecticut to do some motivational speaking. I will be with the TYS, the Teen Youth Summit, speaking to about 2,000. My phone just died.
That was crazy.
You see that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'll be in Connecticut at the Duncan.
You good.
You know what's
It's
alive.
Oh, it's alive.
Yeah.
I will be in Connecticut next week.
To life,
What we got?
back to reality.
So it's Saturday?
No, it's not on a Saturday.
You guys already commented on Carson's hat, right?
Oh, Mighty Morphin
We
Power
did.
Rangers?
We did.
Hey, what was your favorite Ranger?
Oh, red.
Oh, red.
All day.
You probably think I'll say black, but no.
May 20th.
Sean's is black.
This is a free event for you all. It starts at 10 a.m., closes at 12:30. It's a Teen Youth Summit. Someone out there has a great outreach program with the subject is mental health, and we will be talking to these youngsters about how to handle these issues that go on, whether that's bullying, whether that's just emotional trauma at home. The list goes on. There'll be about 2,000 students there in Connecticut. I'm still trying to find the location. It's the Duncan something.
Even if we'll have it, it's in the
Yeah, it'll be in the description.
Oh yeah, it's in the
Description of the
description.
show.
So yeah. Hope for Humanity Summit. That's where I'll be next week, May 20th. 10 a.m. is when it starts. It's a free event if you guys want to come see me. There's a few other guest speakers as well. And we're just going to be out there just trying to lift up these kids and get them into better places from a mental standpoint. And that is all we have
That's
for you.
it.
For the
You going to
Portaway
New York?
Podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Coming to Brooklyn.
We in New York in 2 weeks.
hey, in 2 weeks, we got 5-on-5 at the Rucker versus fans. We gonna get cooked. We gonna get cooked.
You're not allowed on the Rucker. What are you talking about?
I'm Dennis Rodman.
They won't let us just. They're not just gonna give us the court for the
I'm
day.
Dennis Rodman.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I saw a video or a picture of you guys playing at the Rucker, it would be the funniest thing in history.
The picture is gonna be like this right here,
Boosting you up?
boosting me up for a
Oh, hey,
dunk.
if you bang on it. Nah, but we got any knowledge of
Legend
anything
in
we're
2 games,
doing
like
yet?
Pee Wee Kirk.
We still waiting on.
The details?
Again, a big shout out to Kelly Swanson and Swanson Communications. They took care of me in Dallas. I assure y'all they will be taking care of us in New York. We'll come back next week with all the particulars of where we'll be because we'll have everything solidified by the time we do this show next week. Appreciate you guys for watching the Portaway Podcast. God bless you. Tell a friend to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
And shout out to Sierra, Russell, Akon, and Terence Crawford.
Hey, yo, listen, the win,
And Max Crosby.
the win
Oh,
is
yeah, we
where
got
you're
that.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Blue Wire Studios, maybe,
was
the,
Akon
maybe the
for
number
real.
one spot to be.
Hey, you guys all got wives. Peter from Real Housewives was walk by too.
Like we're contracted to do this drop, the win, you know, the Blue
Yeah,
Wire
yeah.
Studios inside.
Okay.
That right there just made it very easy for me.
Oh, of course, yeah.
to remember exactly where I'm at.
I
and
just
who to
found out.
thank.
I just found out there's a candy bowl here today. That makes it even easier for me.
Shout out to Blue Wire
Never
Studios.
felt more at home.
Appreciate you guys. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ed. Follow me on IG with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then tell them, and then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter Way
You're already.
Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're going to do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendel.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.